Hello everyone and welcome to day number 2 on $100 challenge. Today I made about $8 as you can see here. I had about $114 now, 122.53 $122 and 53 cents. Yeah, I cannot speak or put sentences together. But so I'm gonna talk about the recap and the stock that I picked, which was SKYQ. Why I picked it for this particular trade because of a small funding under this account under the Robinhood, and I'm also going to talk about the pretty much the BS that I come across in the market where I have to deal with and try and make it work so I can make money. Even though I some would say I am doing the wrong thing, but you'll see that I am initially doing the right thing, but the market doesn't want to go where it usually does go, even when the news comes out under that company or ticker symbol. Market just reverses, totally just rug pulls underneath me, right? So I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about the SKYQ. All right, so here, as you can see, I started trading. This is pre-recorded, so I started trading this. I already made $1, and I'm looking for the exit here. As you can see, I already have an order at the high of this candle, and you'll see that it's not gonna work because for some reason it's just I don't know if this one worked or is this the one that didn't work. I mean, I got in as soon as this candle broke above this candle, this green candle broke above this candle. I got in once, twice. So I'm leaving that behind. I'm looking for more trades to see if is anything else is moving. Let's skip a little bit. And here is where the rug got pulled underneath me, all the way down, and I was literally cost averaging. So um, most would say, all right, you should have taken your losses here somewhere, right? You should have a stop loss. This is where I entered usually, pretty much around this area, and it was looking like it was, uh, breaking higher, and there was news under this type of what you call ticker symbol, and it was something about a merger, approved merger with some other company, and I was like, okay, it sounds good, it legitimately sounds good, and so I jumped in, and it didn't work. So I started cost averaging because on a good news, it wasn't awesome news, but it was good news. And the good news, I got rug pulled underneath me. Uh, if you think that I'm revenge trading, I am not. I am strategically trading, a cost averaging. Cost averaging is a strategy. So at this point, I realized that they were rug pulling underneath me, and I started cost averaging. So let's switch to this account, which is Robinhood account, and I'm looking to. I even typed in NLSP in here, looking at it to maybe get in on this trade, but I'm gonna delete it, or I don't know. No, I didn't delete it actually. I'm gonna add a new ticker in there. So then I started looking around for more different trades. I looked at, is this the one? Yeah, okay. So I looked at this one, NLSP, which I was in on it. already, like already accumulated 110 shares at one point. I was cost averaging, and I was looking at the higher time frame to see what the heck is going on. It's not making any sense. Why are they like rug pulling that fast? Like they went all the way to $3, almost $3.50, and they're now at $2.51. And I'm like looking uh, back and seeing what is going on. Is there like a support? Where's the support here? And I'm looking like, okay, it does look like there could be a support here at 240 something, right? I'm like, okay, I'll probably add some there as well, like cost average there. And as I'm like looking around, I'm leaving that alone, right? I'm gonna cost average uh, later. I'm looking around for any other possibilities. This one looked like it was gonna go. I was like, I need a pullback. I need a pullback to jump in. I don't want to like they're kind of right now. They almost like looks like that they're consolidating up here, and I don't like to jump in at those levels when something's consolidating. And here I am back again, and they actually went at $2.40, as I said. Hopefully that was the what you call support. I bought some shares. I bought a lot of shares. I was cost averaging, and I kept buying more and more shares. I end up with uh, accumulating like 310 shares, and then I sold some shares. As you can see, uh, I got rid of some shares, and I end up with 120 shares left. I sold like 190 as I was cost averaging. Like I cost average, I would buy shares here, and I would sell them higher up and for some profit, and they just kept selling off, and I was like, it's not making any sense. At this point, um, this stock went underneath, sold underneath the previous day's close. I was like, well, this is literally like manipulation, some type of manipulation that I'm fully not aware. Either short sellers are just crazy strong, and they just kept selling, and so I see this one also has a news, and it says 41 million private investment into this company. And I was like, okay, sounds good, right? Sounds good. I'm gonna get in. I place an order, and let's see. I place an order over there. I jump in here into this to see if it's what's it doing? It wants to sell again. I'm realizing it wants to sell again. I'm like, okay, I should be ready to cost average some more. And here it is again. I started cost averaging, and it dropped all the way to $2. Dropped all the way to $2, way before the close. Look at the close. Was around 240, 246, something like that. Yeah, around 246. Dropped 46 cents, literally to the dime, $2, at $2 to the dime. And I was like, this makes no sense. Has the news, as soon as I, jumped in, and it just flushed it like rug pull underneath me. And I was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna cost average. And I got cost averaging, and this is a smaller frame, 1 minute frame, time frame. As you can see, I bought another 120 shares here, and pretty soon I bought them at 217, and it's gonna I sold like 60 at one point at 220, and I held another 60 hoping to get a better price at 228. As you can see, I split this 120. Like this is I got in at 217, and this is automatically places order at what price I want to exit out. I wanted to exit out 228, but it wasn't looking like it was gonna go up to 228. I was like, okay, I'm gonna cut half of this and sell it for some profit. And yeah, see, like I'm noticing that it's not going to go up, and pretty soon I'm gonna cut. There you go. See, I split I split that 120 order. I sold 60, and I kept 60 at 228 to sell at 228. And then I went looking around again to put other potential stocks. This is where I find SKYQ. See, there's a. I'm looking at the right here at the news feed. I'm looking at it. Is there news? Yes, there is news. I even clicked on it and I read it. It looked good. It was about I forgot what it was about, to be honest. But anyways, so there was this particular one was this the one about the children bio firm where they had 92% approval uh, uh, survival rate on children, kidney disease and all that stuff. And they went up, and then it's not this one. And I was like so pissed off. Of like, dude, are you against children? Like, you'll see. There's one. And I was actually pissed off. I was yelling about it. It didn't make any sense. Is it this one? No, I don't think it's this one. Margin. But anyways, I saw this one moving. I was like, okay, I'm gonna switch to um Robinhood account and buy up to 150 or 160 shares. I think I bought. Um, yeah, 160 shares I bought, and at this point, I am prepared to get out of it because right away, as soon as I got in, it was a red candle, and I'm like, I don't like that. I need to get out and see. And so I placed an order at 70 cents. I bought it at 65 cents, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna send the order, but I'm gonna see if they're gonna push up, because right now as you can see, I'm watching how much I'm losing. If I lose a little too much, I'm gonna have to exit, uh, re readjust the order and exit for a loss. So I'm paying attention. I don't want to send the order right away at 70 cents, because it looks like I'm losing. Instead of if I was in green, then I would be like, okay, now I can place an order to um hopefully get that 70 cents. So I'm paying attention to it right now under the Robinhood account. At this point, I see 16 and like loss, and then six, like, and I'm looking at also the Thinkorswim's what you called chart, and this is not happening at Thinkorswim. This is happening at Robinhood. I'm like, okay, something is going on. Some kind of BS is going on, trying to get me out. And I saw that, like, if I didn't realize there was a BS, I would have gotten out and lost $16, right? I would have like taken that loss. But I was also looking at the what you call other chart from different brokerage, which is the Thinkorswim, and this candle was not forming. I did not see this candle forming. It was actually different type of candle. It didn't have this wick on the bottom. I was like, this makes no sense. What is Robinhood trying to do here? This is on Robinhood. This is at their end. This is not like, and I'm like, okay, something is fishy going on. Something weird is going on. So I'm holding on it, and I'm just paying attention to it to see what are they going to do. And I'm looking at the Robinhood, and I'm looking at the Thinkorswim's chart. I'm looking at the same. You just can't see it, but I'm trust me. I'm looking at both. I have two monitors, and I'm looking at both of them, and I'm trying to compare. And I'm like, it's not making any sense. Up to this point, it made sense, and then all of a sudden, this candle, it's not making any sense. This candle is got the wick from the bottom and the top, but on the under the Thinkorswim, it does not have a bottom wick at all. It's not there. It's like, what is going on? So I'm holding it, and I was glad that I held it. So I kept holding it, holding it. I'm like, okay, let's see if they're gonna actually do something, because at this point I'm just paying attention to Thinkorswim's chart. I'm ignoring this chart, and as I noticed, I Thinkorswim chart, the 68 got to the 68, 69. Then I looked here to place a order at 70 cents. As you can see, I'm like getting ready here. As soon as I see the 69, I was gonna place the order. Here we go. I see 69. I placed the order, and order got out. Executed 160 shares at 70 cents, and boom, like that. I made only like $8, $7, and actually $8 minus 3 cents of commissions. And yeah, so that is what that's what happened with that trade. I couldn't get into any more trades because of the PDS rule, or what's it called, day trading pattern rule, DPT rule, I think, um, acronym for it. And so I got out of the trade, and I'm happy that I made $8. But it was weird. It was weird. So I switched to NLSP, and I realized that I'm losing $30 here. And also the Thinkorswim is trying to make me restart the app. I'm like, nope, I'm not restarting. I need to focus. I need to pay attention. So, uh, and to cost average, and I believe I cost average it here. But I'm like looking, and I'm not trying to figure out what is going on with this trade. It's not making any sense. Why did they like sell off so much so fast on the news, way before, way below the previous close? Is just not making it. Says there is some type of some kind of BS going on that I'm not fully aware what's going on. So I hold it. I keep holding it, and I do get into more shares. Here we go. I got into about 200 more shares. You can't see it, but if you see a little bit like a 200, there's 200 shares. I just bought 200 shares, and I'm waiting to get out at $2.10, and I'm waiting for like uh to see if it's gonna go. And I notice that it's not gonna go higher, and I get out at 2 pennies. I get 2 pennies off of that. Uh, and I made some money off of that as well. And I have another 60 shares to sell out at above $2.70. So I keep paying attention to it. It gives me like, gets me to the point where I'm not losing any money. I'm even, and then pushes back down. I'm like, okay, it's time to cost average again. It was just not making any sense what was happening to this particular stock. Then I get into QLGN, 10 shares. I start with 10 shares. Why? Because there's news, and this news says that announces successful closure about something, the $41 million private investment and all that stuff. Pretty much, pretty much the same as the previous one. I'm like, okay, okay, what's going on? Why do they keep selling off? I'm like placing these indicators to show me where they could be selling to, so I can plan ahead to cost average here, because at this point I'm thinking they're gonna do this again to here as well, under that stock. And I'm looking at this one, I'm checking, seeing what's going on. I'm talking as well in the, but you can't hear it because I turned it off. But I'm just commenting what was going on. So this video is not. I don't want this video to be a very long video. So here I noticed that it's a cup and handle forming. It's going up, and it's at 270 where I bought 120 shares at one point, and I sold 260 shares, half of it. And I'm noticing there's a cup handle is forming. And I'm like, okay. And here is, okay, here is this where I get out. I know I got out here somewhere. Yeah, I'm you know, showing like, okay, I'm in profit right now, but I'm also in a loss. This is like overall loss of the day, but since opened, since you know, like these things sometimes make no sense, right? I'm in profit here. This is the main one. As long as you're in profit here, this one is not that big of a deal. So as I'm in profit here, I'm like, I need to cut that 60 shares, and because I noticed that it looks like it's not gonna break. It wants to break above here, but it's doesn't look like it wants to. So I'm gonna, you know, grab this 60 and I'm gonna drag it down and I'm gonna exit out of that trade as well. Which let's see if it's gonna show it when I did. Yeah, there you go. I got out because I noticed that red candle, and I'm like, okay, this is not working, and I'm out. And see what, as soon as I got out, see what happened. It started selling off again. I'm like, all right, it's BS. But you know, I made some money off of that, off of those 60 shares as well. And I'm looking at this one where I have 2,000 shares. This is like almost 2 years that I held this stock, but let's ignore that one. That's not important. Um, I'm looking around. I'm looking back again. I'm looking for more different stocks, but I'm also coming back here to see if I should cost average some more. And there's another stock that I literally got into. Um, yeah, I'm saying if they sell off here, I'm gonna, you know, jump in here as well. At these prices. And I think this is the one that I jumped in as well. I was paying attention to it, and here we go. I jumped in. I started with like a 50 or like 25 shares each, and I already accumulated like 400 shares because they literally just went against me. Even though I saw a breakout right there, this red candle breakout, like they started pushing above. As soon as I got in, boom, sold off. I was like, man, that makes no sense. So I started cost averaging. Accumulated 400 shares already and about to, you know, buy some more shares. And here I'm gonna buy some more shares. Oh, I guess not. I didn't buy it, surprisingly. But I'm now paying attention and I'm trying to figure out what on earth is going on. Like, why is, here we go. They just took 200 shares. Um, and I'm like, okay, thank God something is actually working. It's not making any sense that they just keep selling off as soon as I get in, you know, they sell off. And I make some money there. I'm paying, it sells off again. I buy another 100 shares, cost average. And they start selling even more. I start buying even more, cost averaging again. Another ticker. Look where they closed at $3.52. Look where they went, $3.25. And I started buying them around those prices. I'm like, what is going on with these stocks? Why are they selling off this much? Look, I accumulated 1,000 shares. I'm gonna freeze this. Accumulated 1,000 shares at one point. Cost averaging. It's like, what is going on with all these technical symbols? Just they had the good news, and I'm looking at, oh, this is the one. This is the one where I was so pissed off that it made no sense. Had a news about announces a 92% survival in children with acute kidney disease, injuries and diseases and all that stuff. And someone shorted it. Some assholes said, F the children, I'm gonna short this company. Like, dude, that's a good news. How is that bad news? And that is why I was getting pissed off. I mean, I got in when this candle, the red candle, was breaking above this candle, previous candle, this one right here, if you can see. Where am I? Hold on. Did I switch? All right. So I am on the right one. I was okay. So um it was breaking above this one and I jumped in. Even the volume, this volume, this red bar here, it was green. And I jumped in. I jumped in. I started jumping in. It's like, okay, makes sense. They want to go higher. Nope. As soon as I jumped in, they started selling off. I started cost averaging. Right away, I started cost averaging. Made some money, made $85.50 off of that. But in reality, yes, I made this money on profit. But in reality, all these shares up here that I bought them here, like 400 shares at $3.78, I lost money on those shares. Those shares, I lost money. The shares that I bought here below, 500 to 600 shares, they're the ones who actually made me money and plus, um, you know, made the losses back and plus $85 of profits. So what I'm trying to say here is this stock, this symbol, I should not trade for at least 30 days. Why? Because of the wash sales. Wash sales. And plus, how did I manage to make $85 cost averaging in buying and selling when I see a profit and but still keeping these shares up here because my tax lot. Uh, this is every single day trader and swing trader and even investor, long-term investor should know about this. The tax lot. You have to learn about tax lots. If you change your tax lots from default, which is first in, first out, to a loss, what you call low cost, change it to a low cost. If you are long biased or bullish, uh, overall bullish in the market, and you buying dips, hoping it's gonna go higher, or you're buying breakouts to the upside, you want to have a tax lot changed to low cost. Why? Because I'm gonna explain. You'll see what happens to previous trade where I actually lost money, but in reality, I didn't lose money because I was selling those lower cost stocks that I was buying them and selling them from profit and ended up making close to $95. I have a loss, but I covered that loss with the cost averaging and selling a low cost and all that stuff. But here it is that ticker symbol where I have 120 shares. I end up losing $35 on this one. But as I said, overall, I was cost averaging and I end up losing maybe like $15 overall. The one that where I made $21, did I go to that one? think I did. Let's see. It's not that one. I know I got into one more trade as well. I don't know if it's this one. Is it this one? Yeah, I started getting into this trade. You know, they did the right thing. Like they moved. Like I seen it. They're breaking out. All right, let's go. Let's move. So I got in 10 shares. I'm not gonna buy more than 10 shares. I'm looking for other ones that I seen previous. This one sold off below that. I'm like, what's going on? Now I'm at 41, dollars in the loss. Eventually, I cut my losses for $35. But here is where I started buying the SKYQ and started selling them as well. Accumulated 300 shares already, or 400 shares. And then I'm checking around to see what else could I get in. And then I noticed that SKYQ also sold off, even though it's got news. Same thing. Three stocks in the row kept doing the same stupid thing. Looks like it wants to break above right there. Looks like it wants to break this candle right green. See, I bought 100 shares here. Broke above this one. I saw it like, and I'm like, okay, I jump in. As soon as I jumped in, went up and down the next candle. So I cost average. And I guess short sellers, whoever is in control, they're like, oh, he cost average it. You know, it went up a little bit. I could have, sold it here, but I'm like, this makes no sense. Why would they sell it so quickly and then bounced? I was like, I'm gonna keep it. Maybe they're gonna hit this level and try and break it. Maybe I'll cut some shares and take some profits up here. Nope, they kept selling off. I kept cost averaging, kept cost averaging, right? And place an order here to sell at this point, at least 200 shares, to see if they're gonna push it to that level. And I'm watching it, and they are starting to push to that level. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check some other ones. Um, Again, here I have still 120 shares. I'm at $35 loss. I'm checking on it, and I'm keeping an eye on it. Uh, where's the time where I got out and made like 20 bucks? It's gonna show. I guess it's not gonna show, but the one, that's not one. So 85 here. Where's the one that that's the KY should, I guess I didn't record it. I didn't record even this one when I exited out. But yeah, I took $35 loss here on LSP and on SKYQ. I made $21 on that one. So 85.21, it's $106, and I realized that I made $97 overall. So that cost averaging here helped out with the loss of $35 here. So instead of like making only about what 70 like 30 70 80, right? Yeah, is it 80, about $80? I made 97, so about $17. I saved my self $17 by cost averaging here, if I did my math right. And yeah, that's it for this recap. It was terrible. It was a terrible. I mean, I came out on top, right? I don't like taking losses, especially when I cost average. But I had to take that $35 loss, and I'm okay with it because I made 100 and more, a little over 100 minus that 35 plus the cost averaging that was cost averaging and taking profits of a cost averaging on that one ticker that I lost $35 on that one. End up making $97 today on my main account, and on this account it's only $8. So yeah, this is, I mean, I'm trying to show you the process of a real trader who's not BSing you in any way, who I know all kinds of strategies, okay? And believe it or not, most strategies do not work with me. The breakouts don't work. All right, they rarely work. If they work, I consider myself as very lucky. For me, they work at maybe 20% of the time, which is horrible. I don't like it. And the cost averaging, as you can see, it works more often than it doesn't. When it doesn't, I take a small loss, but when it does, I do make sometimes 100, sometimes 150, sometimes $300. Right? It depends. It depends on how much they push back up from the bottom, if I get in the bottom. So I pretty much, and I do like to buy what you call the dips. Those are my favorite. Um, like Tesla, I love buying Tesla. Like if you're thinking like you should be buying Tesla at these levels, um, good luck. I wish you all the luck. I'm not buying Tesla at these levels. I wait for oversold on under at least 4 hour chart oversold on the 20 RSI. Then I start buying Tesla. I'll be there buying Tesla. All right. Until then, I'm not touching Tesla. I do have shares of ticker symbol TSLL, which I can show you here. Uh, TSLL. Let's see. And I'm up $948, but I already took a profit of $500. Actually, 700. I'm sorry, $700. Sold 100 shares. I'm willing to sell 50 shares at $30 when if the price goes to $30. They are trying to break that 21. They've been there quite a few times in the last few days. I'm hoping they're gonna keep testing those highs and trying to break. And this is the ETF of Tesla. They invest like 80% of their funds into Tesla long. So I buy this because it's affordable, and yeah. So I was buying them when they were like at around $10, $11, 11, like my cost average is 11, 16. I bought some at $13. I bought some at $9, but I sold those at $9 and $8 ones. I sold them. Like as I said, like as these prices go up, I sell the lowest cost. I mean not lowest cost, low cost ones. I sell them for profit, and as they keep growing, I sell even more and more and more. I cut, I cut down on shares, and now I have only 250 shares, and I'm hoping to sell at least 150 shares at either 50 or 150 shares at $30. But it might not ever get there. And if it don't, I'm just gonna, if it pushes back down to $10 or $8, guess what? I'm gonna be there buying it. All right. So yeah, that is how I invest. That is how I trade. I don't wait for no breakouts, because it doesn't work for me. Even in the long term, it just doesn't work for me. I like to buy sellouts when there is a sell, huge sell, and of course I'll look, investigate why does it sell, what's going on. It did Elon Musk farted, because when like sometimes Elon Musk farts, and you know which will Wall Street, they hear it and they sell it off. They sell the shit out of it, out of Tesla, right? So, so you get the point, right? Elon Musk farts, Tesla gets sold off. I am there to buy, right? I'm not there to panic sell. I'm there to buy. I'm waiting for those juicy prices, because Elon Musk is not gonna fart all the time, every day, nonstop, right? It's gonna stop farting. I know Elon Musk is not that smart. He may be smart, business smart, but he's not that smart. I know he's an idiot. He does stupid things, right? Just like everybody else. We all humans, right? So yeah, you can say whatever you want about Elon. He's There's most of him being smart, and then there's part of him that is kind of an idiot. That it does make some idiotic moves, and stuff, and the way tweets and what he tweets about, and he gets himself in trouble and all that stuff with the you know in a political way. And I kind of ignored that. I'm like, okay, whatever, man. But it kind of actually, he may be actually doing that on purpose, because that is when I start buying. When he does something, when he says something stupid, and Wall Street sells it off, I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm starting to buy it. So that could be his strategy to to have someone like me to keep buying those dips. So yeah. Um. What else? Yeah, that's it for this recap. Hit the like button, subscribe, and look out for the day 3 recap on the small account. I was just you know showing you what I deal with and how I trade on my main account, for you to fully understand why I cannot double this within like a week or two, or because it's almost not possible, because the way market just goes against me every time, all the time. It's ridiculous, right? So yeah, again, thanks for watching. Always stop by. You never know what I have in store for you to watch. I hope you learned something from this video. Peace.